Hello, my name is Roxana. I'm from Wellness Alliance. It's a charity located in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I would like to talk about the significance of primary prevention and secondary prevention and the importance of screening, primary screening and secondary screening. From what I saw, there is a secondary prevention right now implemented, and even in community programs, when they do some type of events, health fairs, they do this type of secondary screening, secondary prevention screening. What means that? Secondary prevention screening means it screens and it may detect, identify an existent illness that is taking place, so that has already appeared in your body. For example, screening for blood pressure. They just check your blood pressure and see. They check your blood sugar. They check your screen. They check your pulse. They take your weight. Check your weight. They give you a questionnaire to identify, detect depression, anxiety, this type of mental conditions. So these are good. They are very good, but they detect an illness that has already occurred. And I support in equal significance. I support to do primary prevention screening, meaning all these fairs, health events, clinics, schools and universities, businesses, community centers, to do them, and to invest equal budget and effort to do them. So they will identify unhealthy behavior. So comparing with identifying an already occurred illness, we would identify an unhealthy behavior. And this has approximately recently occurred to me when I was attending, it's a church that is just across the street from UNC Charlotte, Thomas Aquinas Catholic Church, and they were organizing an event in collaboration with UNC Charlotte to screen different community places, retirement facilities, church, to screen them for the regular signs of illness like hypertension, weight, diabetes, something like that. And I wrote to them with no response, of course. There is very slight openness from these authorities. I wrote to them a long email saying that it's really good what you do, but you have to complete it with questionnaires about healthy behaviors that is more preventative. And I gave them even two models of questionnaires of this kind. There are holistic questionnaires and take questions about all the aspects of someone's life. So that would include physical activity, stress management, relaxation, happiness, purpose, financial wellness, spirituality, sleep. Sleep is also very important. Nutrition, healthy nutrition, and knowledge about healthy nutrition, and so on. And of course, they have not responded. So right now, that's why I'm enforcing the importance and significance that these questionnaires and primary preventive initiatives should take place and should be offered equal budgets, equal attention, and they would take place everywhere, starting school 1 through 12, university, community center, church, business, to detect, identify unhealthy behavior. And that would also include excessive or tendency to have excessive alcohol consumption, smoking, problems with illegal drugs, and even pregnancy education, and to ask, for example, smoking. Do you know that impotence and fertility are affected by smoking? Or how many disadvantages to health do you know about smoking? Please write at least 3. And if they know only 1, that means only 1 has not yet convinced them about the gravity of smoking. But if they know at least 3 or 10, then they will get convinced over time. Pregnancy education, like there are young women that don't have any preparation, education about what you need to do when you get pregnant. Like you need to eat healthy, you need to reduce stress, you need to reduce substance. Like for example, they are on medication. They are on strong psychiatric medication, like class C and D. And they don't know that if I get pregnant, I really don't need to be on those types of medications. So if they would be educated, if they would be identify with this kind of lack in their knowledge, they will be taught or educated about the need of not having this kind of strong toxic medications while they are pregnant. So they need to choose. They need to find other pathways to health for them to substitute strong substances and toxic substances to the pregnancy, or they need to protect themselves against becoming pregnant. These questionnaires would have at the end, let's say it's a questionnaire about smoking. It can be a questionnaire about everything, so all the health behaviors, and then separately it can be another questionnaire about a specific topic, let's say about sleep, and would ask questions like, do you know how many hours of sleep are recommended to be healthy, like for average population, not particular cases, but general for everyone, 7-8 hours. Do you know what are these disadvantages of not getting enough sleep and being always tired and unrested? Or do you know what are the advantages of having a restful sleep? Do you know what would be the routines and measures to have or prepare for a healthy sleep, to induce easier sleep? So these kind of questions that at the end to have some kind of a small guide for each of these topics. Let's say small guide for healthy sleep, small guidelines for smoking cessation, small guide for how to keep sexual risky behaviors or addiction, what you need to do, or what would be healthy nutrition. Like, what are the basic guidelines for healthy nutrition? We don't want to have a master in with an expert. We just want to know the basics. What are the basic rules? Yeah, just ask a teenager. Do they know? Or about weight. Do they know what would be the negative consequences of becoming overweight? No. So to be like a guide with this kind of information, to screen them and also to give them at the end a minimal education to them, and to follow them within this system of preventive care. Each person that is identified that has an unhealthy pattern, an unhealthy behavior, to be followed by someone, a healthcare provider, a coach, a health coach, a mentor, addiction mentor, a psychologist, and to be assisted consistently, let's say once a week over the phone, for a certain period of time. Let's say for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Maybe there is this teenager that is identified, it's overweight, they don't know what are the negative consequences of being overweight. And they are invited for more discussions, and they agree that they are interested in getting assistance and getting health coached. And they are integrated in this preventive program, and they will be called every week for 1 hour for a period of 6 months, for example, until they own a new behavior, a new healthy behavior, until they feel progress, they feel they implemented a healthy change in their lifestyle. So these kind of preventive actions need to be supported by different federal grants, state grants, health grants, private insurances, like all the agents that are engaged with healthcare. They need also to support budgets for these initiatives and this kind of support. It's true, I saw there is a smoking cessation, but this is not enough. This is not enough. There needs to be much more. And me, who wants to do this, I cannot find work. I cannot find work because there is no openness to this kind of initiatives, to this kind of health promotion into the community. Since 2016, when I approached Department of Public Health in Mecklenburg, it was a long story, unresolved. Initially, they say there is nothing, no opportunity in public health jobs or internships or volunteering, whatever. And then 2 years later, I talked with a lady. I said, offer my services. You know, I have a nursing a degree. I want to get involved with community health. I could help internship or volunteering, whatever. And she said, we have only 2 programs. One is smoking cessation and one is diabetes, and none have these kind of opportunities for you. That was 2018. So there is kind of contrast between the need and the support and opportunity for providers who could offer help to solve this need, to solve this health issue that right now is current in North Carolina and also in United States and all over the world. So I want to attract attention to this need of community health, and hope that there will be some change. And this advocacy that I'm doing will not be in vain. Okay, thank you very much.